Okay. Can you all hear me now? Good? Awesome. I was the first one to come here. I and Malika, I think you guys are stuck in the I was there, like Paul was here. I was like, yeah, you're the first one. I was so excited, but they put me on the last talk for the day. I know I'm between food and you guys, so I'm gonna make this as stretch as possible so that, and Malika, you said that I have to keep them engaged till 9 o'clock. Is that okay? I can do that. No worries, no worries. That's good. Before I start, are there any project program managers today attending here? Two. This talk is about us. This talk is about all the happy and the sad souls. So before I talk, right, like when I was preparing these slides, very few, just 25 of them, very few. My son is a 7-year-old. He walked into my room. I was preparing the slides. He stood there, watched me, and he asked, like, will AI answer everything? The two things happened to me. Like, one, that's a very profound question. Second thing, it's coming from him, who is a 7-year-old. This was my dad moment. Like, took the opportunity. I said, no, but everything we have trained it on. Next question is, can we train AI on everything? This is going, right? How is it going? He's a 7-year-old. I have to wear a different hat as a project. I said, no, whatever we can train it on. Then he said, how long will it take to train it? I have no clue. Guys, the brilliant minds here, how long will it take to train AI? That's an open-ended question. Then, with my limited knowledge on ChatGPT, I said it could be anywhere between 3 months to a couple of years or a decade. That's it. Then I thought, yeah, he would go off. I mean, of course, what else do you expect from him? He would go off, I thought. Then he asked the question that probably is most relevant to us in this era. What if AI answers wrong? That was the moment I realized, okay, this kid, okay, I'm a proud dad now. I don't have an answer, but I'm a proud dad now. I believe that is the reason all of us are here. Yes, I could see renew, I mean, the problem space you are in, the problem space you're trying to solve, excellent. And then Solomon, you've always been great. And then that contract analysis, it's a great, you said weekend project, probably it will take 2 years for me to do that. So you guys are brilliant minds, but we all, I mean, you guys know how to build the right solutions. I think we have to start thinking about asking better questions, because the current problem with AI is not the technology, it is people's buy-in, people's trust. And in this AI ecosystem, I call about three personas. I mean, there are 3 personas. One, you guys, all the brilliant minds, you make things happen, you build things. Other side, people who consume your stuff, you consume your vision, what you built it. And then in between, how does your products go into the hands of the customers? We are there in between. We are the bridges. We are there to understand. We are there to manage the initiatives all the way to the end and see the benefits realization. Hey, today I'm going to talk about how project managers, program managers, people who don't code but who are accountable for these initiatives, to up their game to deliver better. I am Madhusudan, Bangalore, Nagaraja. I think Bangalore, that's my last name. I'm from South India. So I currently serve as a technical delivery manager at Esystems. Oh, nothing of my work is related to AI, I'll tell you. I work for state projects. I work for federal government projects implementation. I've been in that space for 2 years. Before that, I worked for Arkansas Blue Cross Blue Shield, and then I worked for Siemens Bank. But my state projects, I mean, if anybody has worked with state and federal projects, you will know they're so slow for a reason. Because every line of code they put out there, it's going to impact citizens. The programs we build are going to impact the most vulnerable citizens. And that is a hotbed for innovation. Think about it. All this knowledge what we bring, if we make small changes, you're going to directly impact the citizens of our world. So today, I'm going to talk about that. What should be the next gen project manager look like? How should we interact? How should we up our game to be enablers to make real contributions? So there is a saying, old ways won't help the new problems. Old solutions won't help the new problems. right? Same thing, PMP, project management, they're all good. But can you bring the old style to work for the AI projects? So I'm going to talk about three landscapes. I mean, what is the current problem and what is the current landscape and what should a project manager look into next? So I go over like a project management gap, and again, this might be repeated for you guys, but try to see that this is from someone who stakeholders, executive management. You might know 20 models, you might be worked with 20 models, but your director might not have worked with. So this is space. So when you say traditional software projects, don't worry, we all do agile, all those things, but every project starts with explicit rules. Like you have a goal, you have a reason to build a project, you build that project. But in AI, you don't know, it's a learning system. It is dependent on data. It's a learning system. You cannot say, I'm going to build this. It's a vision. And that vision, you could walk that vision multiple ways. So our project managers to have that experimentation mindset, deterministic output. This one is good. When you build a project, the old ways, you give a input A, you give it input A 20 times, you're always going to get output B. But in our AI systems, it's probabilistic. You cannot tell, like with the, you tweak the prompt, or just like the way you did, Solomon, you take the same prompt, give it to 20 models, you will get 20 different answers. So you will have to change, your mindset should change that and when you manage these projects, you are not looking at outputs, you have to look at your vision and outcomes. Clear requirements, again, we start with this, all of us do, yeah, this is the vision, this is the feature we are going to build. It won't happen in AI project. You know a vision, but you have to be fluid to see. In AI, it's not about building the big project, it is about building, making sure, feasible, test it out. Is it even worth building it? It is, do your pilots, do your proof of concepts, good, early. That's my feasibility checks. Anybody know? I'll throw this up. What do you call a successful project in today's term? Anybody? What do you call how do you call a project is successful?
I have some task, I have goal to have create some project. This project has some goal, and if my project done my goal, I can say for now this is level my project is done. But about AI-based project, every time we can get some complicated. I am definitely use vibe coding. I know how it's tried to rewrite. I want to some idea. I discuss it with ChatGPT and write big task rule, and I send it to, for example, Cloud, Sanet, and I get any need what I want, but not definitely what I want.
Okay. Yep,
yes.
Exactly.
This is happiness in AI-based project. About traditional software project, we have in this side two problems. When you made it some project, we can get more issues. This is not done too.
Not done too. Yeah.
But
yeah.
I saw you write it down at delivery with minor update, but never done. I want to know
Lovely.
your idea.
Yes.
Why
You took a very good. I appreciate your inputs. Done. So you made the project plan, worked for 3 years. You delivered the work. It's a working code. Say you built a hotel management system, or you built an eligibility system for the state, so citizens could apply for their benefits. That's done. You ticked off all the things. You built the code. You deployed it, tested it. It is working fine. Okay. In an AI project, say you have done all that, but your model is accurate only 60%. Go about like in a hospital, it detects or false positives that. So it is done technically, but here you're looking at the output, here you're looking at the outcome. Did it achieve? So AI projects have to go into production, they have to be monitored, kept on. So you'll have to, it's a learning process. It's never done. You might have a system that is in place for 2 years, but there is always room for new enhancements there. You could improve the accuracy. There in the traditional project, you say like, oh, I finished this, I worked on this, I built this code, then I'll take care about the bugs. But in AI, yes, you'll deliver, but you'll constantly be looking around it. and I think I didn't put it out there. So there is a study which says only 12% of pilot projects, AI pilots, make it to the production. So that means 88% of pilots, they all fail. Because if you try to see them as traditional projects, they will fail. You have to put guardrails, but you have to put the guardrails in AI. So this is the landscape. I mean, this is the difference what we want to look at. How does project managers up their game? So I keep this. Every AI project is essentially a data project. We have to understand that, and that is very important. It's not requirement. It's a data project. You give him the best data, best trained models, you will come closer to your outcomes of achieving good results. So when you say data in an AI project, I also am engaged with PMI. There is a CPMI. I know I want to talk about that, but you can keep it. That's like how you have PMP, project management certification. There is a new framework how project managers should handle AI projects. In that they say 80% of staffing, right? 80% of staffing on AI project, they say will be data engineers. You have another 10% on AI and ML engineers, and then 5% on your business. So the project managers have to get really comfortable. I know not everybody, but they don't have to go on vibe code or write the models, but they have to be comfortable understanding the AI model journey, what the models are, what a data scientist and a data engineer role is, how different they are, what is an AI role, what is an ML engineer role. Because when you are leading a team of 20, 30 people, you need to know their roles. You need to, when you have those conversations, you need to have meaningful conversation. I've been there. The last thing a developer wants is to repeat the same thing 5 times in the same day. You've all been there. So if you become AI literate, you are going to add meaningful conversation to the project. Shift to discovery mindset, same thing. I know we touched on it. We don't have to go. So it's not about like, yeah, these are the tasks. In a stand-up, I would ask like, are you meeting those tasks? Instead of those, I should have empathy. So somebody is working on somebody is training a model. So when somebody is training a model, it is not going to be a straight A to B line. It could take, and there is always, it could take, I mean, I know we estimate for project management, that is the word, estimate, but you could estimate 3 weeks, but it could take 3 months. Because it's a learning system. Yes, you put guardrails, but it's still a learning system. So when I lead those projects, I need to understand why it is taking, not just like is late or is delayed. We need to understand the problem space. So project managers have to go in that space so that they also understand the same language as the AI engineers. Strengthen communication. I'm gonna jump onto this, skip this. I have a slide for this. 2 basic traits. I'm writing a research paper. 2 basic traits for project managers: become comfortable with AI models, AI concepts. Second, master your communication, which I'll come to that. And this focus on trust and ethics, I'll go back to my son's question when I started the talk here. It is relevant. If a 7-year-old can ask, imagine the stakeholders you work with, imagine the executives you work with, how are you certain about this outcome? In the old world, you can't bring in a technical manager, oh, he is going to speak. As a project manager, as a program manager, you have to be in the space to be able to articulate. So that means you have to understand what data sets are trained on. How is it trained? To what extent is the accuracy? Is there any bias? So focus on trust and ethics. What we say, we put guardrails. So every stage we go, like you are building, say you trained the model. Don't think of trust and bias as a last item or a security just a pass through. It has to be embedded in everything we do. It has to be embedded in every phase. You build small thing, make it go through rigorous training, rigorous trust and bias, ensure, and policies, audit. The more you do in the development process, you will be certain, and then you could have those positive messaging to the stakeholders involved. Adaptive planning, I think I liked Renew when they said context engineering and adaptability. I know that is an excellent thing, but who? Again, end of the day, all these people are the ones who are going to lead this. So feasibility first, we touched on it. Don't worry about come to the mindset, do I really need to do this? And is it worth doing, taking it to the next stage? At every stage, have those stage gates. Experiment driven, yes. I mean, these are basically, if you look back, it is no different than what a agile or a Scrum or a experimental iterative project manager would do, but they are not optional. They are ingrained in an AA project, and one has to be in that mindset. Metrics based. That's what, like, instead of saying that I finished 90%, let's have metrics talking about relevance of our results. Let's have metrics talking about accuracy of our results. Our metrics should be, in this quarter, I'm going to increase the accuracy of our model, say, by 62%. And then we go about in 70%. That should be our goal, rather than KPIs, rather than saying, okay, I'll finish this feature. Don't think about feature. Continuous learning, it's going to be there. So nothing different, nothing new to AI, or it's an agnostic, I'll tell you. But this is what I have learned over the years, and I'm framing this. So every project manager, there is a saying, like 90% of a project program manager's role is about communication. That's all we do. I know. You might think you have to tell the same thing to different, because, and in those 90%, you have to make that strategic. So I'm gonna, 4 key dimension is what I have figured it out. You talk to your team. I'll break it down. Team communication. You talk to your peers. You talk to your business or the stakeholders, your executive managers, and then at the end you talk to your end customer. So with the team, Simon Sinek, start with the why. That's what, with an AI project, gone are the days you say, this is your task, do it. You have to explain the vision. You are a chief translator, you are a chief motivator, energizer. The team should know what you are really building on. That is their buy-in. You should focus on telling those. Peer communication, this is all your things like this. You have attend conferences, you build communities, you talk to your partner project managers, what they're doing, learn from them. You don't have time for all the mistakes to do to learn from them. Learn from others. So that is your peer communication. Executive communication, it's important. Think about an AI project. You have your director. He is handling, he'll come. The best part is they're very engaged in the project, but they don't have time. So they want precise, concise information rolled up and given only red, green, all those. I mean, there are several ways, status reports, red, green signal. There also, you have to comfortable with what has happened on the team, data set, models, trains, and give them a picture where you buy in their confidence. They trust the project is going on track. And in the end user, all this, what we did, what we spoke, is at the end going into the customer's hands. It could be B2B, B2C, no matter what, you can call it what you want. Those are the people who are going to talk to you about. And they will come up with those questions. How sure are you this answer is relevant? And what have you done? How can you explain? So you, a project manager, has to be in a comfortable space to be, I've gone through that, to tell them, hey, these are the data sets we have used. This is the training we also. This is how our initial accuracy was. This is how we have gone through our journey. So you have to build them. I think the main goal for us for AI adoption is they have to trust it. They have to see value in it. Not just like everybody does ChatGPT today. But if somebody is going to pay for a system you're building, they really want to know what has happened behind it. And you have to get comfortable with it. Yeah, I mean, all this while, a few more slides, I'll wrap through. All this while we said, how do you manage project? What are the AI things you have to learn? You have to utilize, be a consumer of AI technologies too. ChatGPTs, smart helpers. Tinkering, right? I wanted to, maybe, I'm like the next one. What I'm tinkering now is, coming back to the communication, one of the key things which derails a project, forget about AI project, is basically stakeholder sentiment. So I'm comfortable with Microsoft Copilot. That's what I use, Copilot Studio. I am building an agent where it will monitor my teams, my emails, and any other channels. Anytime there is a dissatisfaction, anytime there is a confusion or frustration from a stakeholder, customer, project director, it flags it. It puts it on a dashboard for me, so that's my action item. I go and rectify that. I go and have those one-on-one conversation with them. Understand? So if it is left unaddressed, that's how it spirals in a project. When you are dealing with 20, 30 stakeholders, this is one way to use AI to help you become better project manager. And then auto reports. These are, I mean, there are plenty of tools. Attending these conferences is the first step on most of our project managers. You will get exposed to different tools, different experiences. Go back and see what you can do with it. Risk is something I am working on. Uh, right now, I'm thinking it as a RAG solution, but similar to how it was stakeholder sentiment analysis, I want risk also. I'm tinkering around like how you could predict risk on a project based on the communications, based on the conversations, teams, chats, everything, and then based off your status reports. Well, I'll come to the last one. With all this, I want, what is the call to action? For all the developers, minds, brilliant minds out there, have some patience, empathy on the project manager. They don't speak the word you guys do. They don't have the technical knowledge like you guys do. But it is important, next time when you talk with them, try to explain them in a simpler concept, because that will help enormously for them to talk about this topic, understand the topic, and when they talk to the executives and stakeholders. So all you developers, share some love to the project managers. And for project managers, attend these conferences. Learn. I mean, it's no project is, I keep saying this, every project is a tech project. You cannot run, it's not an optional thing. Back over the days like, oh, developers will take care. No. You have to, if needed, you have to roll up your sleeves and code it. That is how, I mean, stay back and empower them, but you should be, that's how you build trust with your team. Project managers, invest on your AI literacy. Understand. Talk to your developers, understand with your team. Founders, right, and leaders, I say executive, it's a mindset shift for them too. Don't treat this as I have 500K budget, I want this project to be done. Rather, try to envision at the top level, have a vision for capabilities. What can we as a company product can deliver more to the customers? So they should start from that mindset. Well, that's it. This was my few minutes, I think, few minutes for all of us. I wanted to represent the project managers. So next time you do, I mean, these are everybody in that ecosystem is important. And now I'm concentrating on those project managers to up their game, to help you all deliver good solutions. Thank you. Thank you, Anmika.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I wear many hats at work, project management as well,
Oh.
and that's the number one problem I'm facing. Talking about tech with non-tech people, talking about business with AI people. So this was really amazing. Thank you so much. And with that, we have actually ended our demo segment. The next one is just our networking time, and we have dinner outside as well. So thank you so much for all of you guys who came out today.
Was it good?
And this
Pretty good.
was our first
Good.
meetup.
That was my
So
first
I
ever
would
talk.
say it has been
Really?
a success.
Probably.
And
Thank you.
anyone who hasn't
I'll
sent
send it to you
in
right away.
yet, please do so. We will reach back out to you with more information, more
What's your number?
meetups, and more projects. Thank you so much.
Probably use LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, okay.
Actually, it's gonna